What's up? This is Alex from All Time Low, and you're watching the 24 Hours podcast.
T-minus 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following is a 24 Hours podcast.
The band is All Time Low, the much-awaited Vancouver appearance of All Time Low. This is Alex.
Howdy.
Nice to meet you. You've played Vancouver before. What are your memories of the city?
Actually, at the time we were on Warped Tour, and Warped Tour kind of confines you to a little bubble. And so my memories of the city are pretty limited. We didn't see much of the city that day. But my memory of the show was that it was a pretty good show. Every time we've come to Canada, it's been really cool. The kids are really receptive up here. I guess because we don't get as much of a chance to come up here as often. So, you know, I guess when bands do come up, people are more appreciative of it. Kind of, you know, similarly as going to overseas shows. So yeah, it's been a great experience overall. I'm excited to play tonight.
Are kids in the States, the audiences, are they different from when you see them in Canada, or is it pretty much kids are kids?
I mean, yeah, kids are kids, but you know, like I was saying, I think because we don't get up here as much, sometimes I think the anticipation and the excitement is a little higher. Just because, you know, in the U.S. you can pretty much go to a rock show any weekend, anytime you want, whereas I think, you know, sometimes the touring bands from the U.S. don't come up here as much as, you know, they could. So I think there's definitely a lot of the time a really big welcoming when you do roll through. So it's always really exciting to play around here.
You've also got a brand new great album called All Time, or by All Time Low rather.
Yes.
It's called So Wrong It's Right.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking about this before we started shooting this. The packaging is kind of weird. Maybe you can walk us through what you've done here.
Well, basically, like the CD, as you see on shelves, comes with this O card. So normal looking CD, track listing on the back and everything. But you know, as I was saying to you before, because the album's called So Wrong It's Right, everything we did around the album we wanted to be a little bit weird, a little bit wrong. So the actual CD itself, the artwork, nothing quite fits on the page. It's all messed up. On the back are the thank yous. Usually it would be a track listing. We just kind of wanted to do something a little bit different and, you know, kind of have people open it up and be like, huh. And as I was saying to you also, CDs these days, you know, everyone puts their CD on their iTunes or whatever anyway, so, you know, how long do people really keep the jewel case? Unfortunately.
You thank the bands that you've toured with and played with and stuff like that. And I notice a lot of bands are doing that on their thank yous now. Like, do you really actually learn a lot from bands as you tour around?
Absolutely, yeah. We're also a really young band, and to be touring and to be surrounded by bands that are, you know, years older than us, there's a lot to be learned. Especially on the Warped Tour, being around bands that have been touring for years and years and years. It's been really, really cool to kind of experience and kind of share our experiences with those bands, and yeah, we definitely learned a lot.
You are, as you say, a fairly young band, and you guys started in high school, is that correct?
Yeah, we started our freshman year of high school. We kind of were bad.
Yeah.
And we sort of just, I guess, progressed, and as we went, we built a really strong local following, and then I think we had a way of getting in contact with other bands from, you know, national touring bands, and just in talking to them, it kind of encouraged us to really take control of our destinies and really sort of, you know, book tours ourselves and make an effort to get out on the road. So I think by the time we were like juniors in high school, we had done already like a tour out to as far as Texas, and for a bunch of 17-year-olds, like a couple of the guys were 16, couldn't even drive.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like a unique thing to be in that position, and I think that is what put us on the radar with all these labels. So by the time our senior year rolled around, we actually had kind of, I guess, caused enough of a stir to matter. So we got signed our senior year to Hopeless Records, and it's been awesome ever since then.
It's got to be a pretty cool experience for a bunch of young guys to all of a sudden have like chicks throwing themselves at you. How do you deal with that?
It's definitely cool. I guess, I don't know, we're not super indulgent of those kinds of things. The rock star life is definitely not what it used to be. Not quite as accepted, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you know, shit happens, but I won't talk about it.
Well, one thing I do want to talk about is the picture of you guys in your underwear.
Yes.
Okay, now that created quite a stir. Were you expecting that?
A little bit. I mean, I think, if you... No, I don't think any other band had really done it before recently. I think a band may have done it, back in the early 90s called the Peppers. Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
yeah. With
But,
the little play socks and
Yeah,
things.
yeah. A few bands have done similar things, but it's few and far between. So we decided to. We've always been a band that's a little bit controversial on stage, and says some things we probably shouldn't say, and especially considering that we're playing in front of a lot of young girls and stuff like that. We kind of, the whole vibe of the record is that we do things and say things that we probably shouldn't, but for some reason it works, and that's where the name came from, and all these ideas of why not put ourselves on the internet naked? Everybody else seems to be doing it these days, so why not a band?
Well,
And,
now that you've done that and gotten all the fallout you have, you got to raise the bar even higher. What's next for All Time Low?
we're probably going to have a battle royale in which each member kills one of the other members, and the final member wins, I guess. But the band will be no more, but it'll probably boost record sales a lot.
Well, it's a great CD called So Wrong It's Right, All Time Low. Alex, thanks very much. Enjoy Vancouver.
Thank you very much.
All right.
24hours.ca